All right, we need to take a minute here to talk about something that's getting up there in age. It's absolutely getting older, but it's also better than it's ever been. In fact, I'm willing to bet we can put it up against some things that are much, much younger. No, we're not talking about me, though I can understand why you'd think that, right? Older, better. Absolutely, I get it. No, we're actually talking about NVIDIA Shield TV. Now, it made a brief mention in our video on the best streaming devices that you can buy at the end of 2022. For those of you that watched the video, you got it, you saw it. For those who didn't, you were upset that it wasn't in there, except it was. But it was a fair question, I think. Why wasn't NVIDIA Shield a bigger part of that video? Why did we not recommend it as one of the best streaming devices you can buy? Now, this is not an apology video. If that's what you're here for, it ain't happening. I still think for most people, Chromecast with Google TV is the way to go, full stop. But for others, for a few of you out there, Shield TV absolutely is the way to go. In fact, if you even know what NVIDIA Shield TV is, this video isn't for you. If you know, right? Move on. For everybody else, you want some more on Shield TV? All right, here we go. But first, subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all the things, you know that. We've got more than 1 million subscribers now. That's super exciting, but we need more. I want more. All right, you ready? Let's go do this. So, in a nutshell, Shield, or Shield TV as we call it a lot, is a super powerful streaming platform made by NVIDIA. Now that's a company that's mostly known for things like graphics cards and other computer hardware, and it's been around forever. And NVIDIA Shield itself isn't exactly new either. It actually started life as a handheld gaming console. Think Nintendo Switch or the Steam Deck, that sort of thing. In fact, I had one back in the day, a long time ago. But in 2015, Shield became, well, Shield TV and became the Android TV platform that we know today. Got hardware updates in 2017 and again in 2019, and it's mostly stayed the same since then. We have the Shield TV and the Shield TV Pro, which is a little higher end. So the regular Shield turned into a cylinder-looking thing in 2019, that's kind of cool, but the Shield Pro kept that same basic design. Now Shield isn't just about streaming, it's also about gaming, which makes sense because this is NVIDIA we're talking about, and NVIDIA is synonymous with gaming. From day one, the Tegra X1 processor was just way more powerful than anything you needed in any sort of streaming box like this. And if that sounds familiar, it's also very much like what Apple has done with Apple TV, right? It's just way more power than you actually need, but that's a good thing because it lets it stay current, it lets it stay updated for years. I mean, think about it. The current hardware that you see running behind me here is 3 years old. That's insane. That's forever. That's ancient. And that also makes it the perfect platform for NVIDIA's cloud-based GeForce Now gaming program. That's become even more important as we go into 2023 because Google is shutting down Stadia, its own cloud gaming platform. There just aren't as many anymore. Now, one important thing to know here, you got the regular Shield and the Shield Pro. Shield Pro is what's gonna get the AAA games, all right? So if you're seriously into like cloud gaming and that sort of thing, think Steam, think GeForce Now, you're gonna want Shield Pro. And as long as we're getting into the niche stuff, Shield and Shield Pro are great for running Plex. In fact, they are full-blown Plex servers built in. Runs right there, you just plug in a hard drive and you can play local media all over your home network. Very cool. Want more niche stuff? Okay. I mean, think back to 2019 when this version of Shield started doing its own AI upscaling. It would take lower resolution content, 720p, 1080p, whatever, and upscale it and then run AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, processing, and just make it look better, right? TVs do that now, other platforms do that now. NVIDIA Shield was one of the first to do it. So that brings us back to the original question here. Why recommend Chromecast with Google TV over NVIDIA Shield? For me, it's actually a really simple decision, probably, maybe. Now, Shield TV today, at the end of 2022, is a niche device. And that wasn't always the case, okay? It used to be a lot harder to get a good Android TV device. In fact, for a long time, we only had one real option for Shield TV. Now we have Chromecast with Google TV. Google's making it, the software is always up to date. And here's the kicker, right? When it comes to price, Chromecast with Google TV is $50. NVIDIA Shield and Shield Pro, $125 or $175 at retail, all right? That's a big difference for 2019 designed hardware, boys and girls. That is a big difference. And I tell you, if we were talking about brand new hardware, if NVIDIA were to refresh it right now, I'd be singing a different tune, I think. But $50 for something new, or $125, $175 for something that's 3 years old and counting, that's a pretty big discrepancy. So unless you absolutely have to have Shield TV for one of those niche things, right, for the Plex server, for the cloud gaming, or okay, fine, the AI processing, I have a really hard time arguing to spend 2 and 3 and 4 times as much money on a 3-year-old device. It doesn't mean I can't make the argument for it, okay? Look, it's still getting software updates. That's awesome. That's really good. I will be the first to say that. It still does all the app things. It still does all the Google things. Google Assistant's all in there. And it's still ridiculously overpowered and does 4K and Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos and all that stuff. And it looks great. So if you're a hardcore Android fan, or you gotta have the cloud gaming, or you gotta have the Plex, by all means, go for it. Your money's gonna be well spent here. But again, I can't say this enough, those are niche use cases on older hardware. And you gotta balance that with the retail price, okay? That's not to say Shield isn't good. It absolutely is. But for everyone else, the people who are just trying to stream some video, Netflix and YouTube, and do some Google Assistant stuff, I'm gonna tell them to go buy a Chromecast with Google TV for $50. That is until NVIDIA decides to update Shield TV. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. They haven't told me yet. But until that happens, I'm gonna think of Shield TV like I think about myself. Older, wiser, still really good, but definitely older. All right, that's it. I know you disagree with me. Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's it, stay tuned. We got a lot more coming your way from Digital Trends. See ya.